The word fanatic is the word that fan is derived from. What makes a fan a fanatic? Webster Dictionary defines fanatic as being marked by excessive enthusiasm and often intense and critical devotion. Only a true fan can be enthusiastic and have a fierce devotion to the team. So what makes a fan a true fan? In order to define the term true fan, we decided to divide the term into 3 parts. First, pride in the team. Second, commitment to the team. And third, knowledge of the team. First, one must have pride in the brand. Apparel. One must have at least one jersey of a current player to wear when they cheer on their team. A player's jersey may be substituted for a team shirt or hat, but nothing says true fan like a jersey. They may also have a jersey of a past player of that same team hanging on the wall. They may have at least one other team novelty, such as a mug, pom-poms, or a set of shot glasses. Game time. As said before, a jersey of current player or team shirt must be worn while watching a game. The only exception being is if they are shirtless and have their chests painted to support their team in some way, shape, or form. They must have one accessory, whether it be a foam finger, a wig consisting of team's colors, or even a hat. Level of involvement during the game time. Standing is a must, even during seemingly unimportant times. If your team was fouled or penalized, you better be standing up and screaming at the other team. If your team is penalized, you must shake your head in disgust at the apparent blindness of the referees. If caught sitting, your level of true fandom may be called into question. Appearance. As stated earlier, outward appearance is crucial in order to be considered a true fan. You must dress in almost obnoxious manner in support for your team. No one should be able to doubt which team you are in support of, especially if there are fans of your opposing team nearby. Make it known. Whenever a conversation, even remotely related to sports, comes up, you must bring in your team and make it quite obvious for who you root for. People will hate you for your arrogance, but they are just jealous because they are a true fan of your team. In addition, defend your team at all costs. Never admit to having a bad season. Blame a poor record on situations outside your control, such as injuries, bad weather, bad refs. Never speak highly of another team that shows weakness. Also, when your team is having a successful season, rub it in everyone's face for years afterwards. Second, commitment to the team. To be a true fan and be committed to the team, a true fan is never on the fence between their team and another. They stick with the team that they are rooting for, even if they are having a difficult season. So first, a true fan has to be glued to the team from the start, no matter what. If something terribly wrong happens with the team and they make complete fools out of themselves, a true fan will still be on their feet cheering them on till the end. Although they may cheer for teams who would help their team get to the finals. Secondly, for a true fan, they have to watch, listen, and know the final score to all games. Even if they are not able to watch live, they will somehow get their score when they are able. For example, let's say a certain true sports fan was in a very important meeting at the first game. They will probably have an app set up to show them the score as soon as they got out of the meeting. True BYU fans will always be up to date with the scores. And the last thing for someone to really be committed to a team is that they have to put forth their commitment and time to gain knowledge of the team. The third and final criteria that differentiates a fan from a real fan is in the person's knowledge of the team. First, a real fan has to be a fan of the sports overall. If they are a football fan, then they must know the game of football well enough to talk intelligently about it. This may come from playing the sports themselves so that they can sympathize with the players on a certain level, or they study the game so that they have an in-depth knowledge of the cause and effect relationships of the events of the game. Second, a normal fan may know a couple of the star players' names and a couple stats, but a real fan knows all of the players' names and can interpret their stats and give you a pretty good explanation for their stats. Third, a real fan knows the team's schedule for the year and may even have a pretty good idea of what their schedule will look like in the next year. Knowing the schedule isn't enough, though. A real fan will be able to look at the schedule and give it a general rating of difficulty and be able to answer questions like, what are the chances of a win-loss record, and what does the schedule do to their chances of a bowl game or a tournament run? And while not required to be a real fan, it is also important that the fan knows how their opponent's schedule relates to their own and what it means for the potential championship run. Fourth, a real fan is not one who has only been a fan for a couple of days. A real fan is in for the long haul, meaning that they have a general knowledge of the history of the team and of its most famous players. They know the year of any championships that the team may have won and will know some star players from the championship team. They know the name of the stadium where the team plays their home games, and while attendance to the games is not necessary, they at least make an effort to go to a game sometime in their life or period of fandom. Fifth, a real fan will stay up to date on a rostered changes and be able to speculate about how any roster changes may affect the season. They know how the team recruited or drafted in the current year and can intelligently comment on how the draftees or recruits can positively or negatively affect the team. In conclusion, a real or a true fan is one who loves their team no matter how they perform. It could be said that being a real fan may appear to some as an obsession, but to the fan they may feel themselves completely normal and don't care how others view their love for the team. The true fan is open about their fandom and stays with the team no matter what.